Darkness.
Merry Christmas Eve. My name is Julie Hamilton. I'm originally from the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas, and I've been in Durham, North Carolina for the last 10 years or so. I went to Duke Divinity School for my graduate degree in theology, and I'm hoping to pursue my doctorate in art history. Advent is a time to reflect on the interruption of light amidst the surrounding darkness, which perpetually creeps in earlier each passing afternoon. It's been a doozy of a year, to say the least. Life has had an erosive way of eating at the promise of thriving, and hope can seem like naive wistfulness or a sentimental premonition, making cynics of us all. When I was first planning this reflection, I wanted to share some interesting artistic interpretations of the Nativity, but to be perfectly honest, the way that I'm feeling right now is a sober awareness of COVID and its implications on my family and others around us. Financial stress, the daily health risk for those of us working outside the home make Christmas the last thing I want to logistically deal with right now. There's this strange sense that people are coping with the difficulty of the year by a forced festiveness that feels manipulative, that somehow songs on repeat and twinkling trees are going to rectify the reality that people are dying, unemployed, can barely pay their bills, much less afford gifts for other people. Merle Haggard's If We Make It Through December has never felt so real for me, and I find myself listening to Phoebe Bridgers' cover of it often. Just this last week, the production workers at my company broached our management with a petition for better protocols as our workers continue to get sick, for them to recognize that the sacrifices we are making during the holiday season just to break even, all for the CEO to squash our hopes of helping us. Additionally, my partner is a chef and has deeply been impacted by the ramifications of COVID and was unemployed for half the year, and we worry that we will see another phase of it. For me, Advent has been my daily walk to the mailbox, waiting for a check to arrive from the journal I edit for. Kind of a performance piece, if you will. I've got writing deadlines in front of me, so all I want to do is knock things off my preparation list for Christmas. I want to purchase gifts, buy wrapping paper, cards, food. Yet all of these acts of preparation are on hold until that measly envelope arrives in the mail. Thus, Advent has habituated in me this tedious act of waiting. It's funny how as a kid, the Advent calendar felt never ending, but as an adult, I'm desperately trying to halt the clock from continuing to tick each day. In this process, I'm forced to sit with the tension of wanting to be generous with others and having zero means to do it. For anyone that knows me, knows that I truly love nothing more than beautiful, unnecessary, extravagant gifts. I like being financially independent and able to control how and when I give. For me, nothing feels quite as humbling as financial limitations. I'm not being evicted or at a food bank, yet still, my bank account is overdrawn. What does the process of waiting look like? I am reminded of Faith Wilding's 1970s feminist performance piece entitled Waiting. In it, she rhythmically bows as she intermittently narrates different stages in a woman's life that captures the various aspects of waiting, from being born, her coming of age, even her death. Wilding narrates an experience that never arrives. Rather, she describes a perpetual yearning for resolution as we journey life's way. What this piece puts into perspective, at least for me, is shattering an illusion of life being tidy and timely. There's a kind of eerie lie that cozy holiday tunes conjure in their FOMO and isolation from family tensions, abuse, racism, political differences, financial security. What might it mean to think of Advent's lessons of waiting as a means to cultivate a generosity of spirit, expanding the festiveness of the season to accommodate people's real pain? The reality is that after this check arrives in the mail, I will be waiting for my doctoral application to determine the next stages of my work. Life is a perpetual flurry of unknowns. So how do we have hope in this place? We know that the Nativity pertains to the Incarnation, that God took on human flesh to be with us. How differently we understand the intimacy of human flesh this year as we have experienced its absence. Skin hunger is so real, and many people just need a hug right now. Yet grace continues to come from unexpected places. Perhaps a stimulus check from Congress, a vaccine, a raise even. Expansive and inclusive legislation from newly elected representatives, a negative COVID test. The reading for today out of 2 Samuel and the Gospel of Luke underscore the promise that God is with us, mourning and lowly exile here. Quarantine has given that term, exile, an entirely different meaning to us beyond these texts. So this Christmas, I invite you to take off the pretentious layers and embrace the difficulty of the year. Hold the ones you love that you can close this Christmas. Cherish the presence of those that you can be with, even if it is far fewer than usual. And remember that even if not, God is with us in the face of the other. Even if this year it happens to be via Zoom or FaceTime. O come, Emmanuel. Merry Christmas, everyone.